Welcome back to the channel, USA Coins 69, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of one of America's most beloved and iconic coins, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This small piece of copper not only carries the image of one of the greatest presidents in American history but also tells a story that spans decades, wars, and generations of collectors. While many of these pennies were common everyday coins, some specific 1941 Lincoln Wheat pennies with particular mint marks and exceptional conditions have become some of the most sought-after treasures in numismatics. By the end of this video, you'll discover why one extraordinary 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny can be worth an astonishing $195,000. Let's start by setting the stage. The year 1941 was a pivotal moment in American history. The country was still grappling with the aftereffects of the Great Depression, and tensions abroad were escalating towards World War II, which would soon engulf the globe. In this era of uncertainty and change, the penny you held in your hand was more than just currency. It was a symbol of stability, resilience, and hope. The Lincoln Wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This design was revolutionary at the time because it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, a president, rather than abstract symbols. On the obverse, you see Lincoln's dignified profile, a constant reminder of leadership, freedom, and perseverance. The reverse side is where the penny truly gets its nickname, the wheat penny. Two stylized stalks of wheat frame the coin, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. Above is the motto, E pluribus unum, and below is the denomination, 1 cent. The words, United States of America, crown the top. This design was used from 1909 until 1958 and remains one of the most beloved in U.S. coinage history. Now, while millions of 1941 Lincoln Wheat pennies were minted, the value of most is still close to face value because so many were circulated heavily. But among these millions, there exist rare and valuable specimens that have withstood the test of time, preserved in mint condition or featuring unique characteristics that make them highly desirable. One of the most critical factors influencing a coin's value is the mint mark. In 1941, pennies were produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. The mint mark is located just below the date on the obverse side of the coin and tells collectors exactly where the coin was struck. While Philadelphia pennies are the most common, Denver and San Francisco mint pennies, especially in exceptional condition, can fetch much higher prices due to lower mintages and collector demand. Condition is king in the world of coin collecting. The best preserved coins, those that have never circulated and are graded mint state 65 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, command significant premiums. These coins retain their original luster, sharp detail, and lack the wear that typically diminishes value, but rarity doesn't stop with mint marks and condition. Among 1941 wheat pennies, collectors look for minting errors and varieties that occurred during production. One of the most coveted errors is the doubled die. This minting mistake results from the die receiving multiple impressions, causing the inscriptions or date to appear doubled or blurry. A 1941 penny exhibiting doubling on the date or lettering is incredibly rare and prized by collectors. Another error is the off-center strike, where the coin blank wasn't properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted. Depending on the severity, these off-center pennies can be extremely valuable. Die cracks and die breaks also attract collectors' attention. These tiny fractures in the die create raised lines or unusual patterns on the coin's surface. While small cracks are common, prominent and unique cracks make the coin stand out. The composition of the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny adds to its allure. Made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the coin carries a warm, reddish tone that collectors find aesthetically pleasing. This copper content provides some intrinsic metal value, but the real worth lies in the coin's rarity and condition. If you've ever found a 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny in your change or collection, how do you tell if it's valuable? Start by looking for the mint mark just below the date. Then examine the coin carefully with a magnifying glass or loupe for any doubling effects on the numbers or letters, unusual raised lines, or signs of off-center strikes. Assess the condition. Does the coin shine with original mint luster, or is it dull and worn? Over time, collectors have uncovered some stunning 1941 wheat pennies with rare features and exceptional preservation. These coins have been sold at auction for sums that astonish even the most seasoned numismatists. After exploring the rich history, design, rarity, and error possibilities, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. A pristine, rare 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with a significant mint error or a sought-after mint mark, preserved in mint state condition, can be worth an incredible $195,000, yes, $195,000 for a single penny minted. Over 80 years ago, this small piece of history, once common pocket change, has become a treasure that combines America's past, the thrill of collecting, and incredible value. Today, we're taking a captivating journey into the fascinating world of one of America's most cherished coins, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny. This unassuming little copper disc carries with it a story woven into the fabric of American history, and for the right collector, it could be a literal goldmine. So, stick around as we explore everything there is to know about the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny, its history, unique features, and why some specimens can be valued at an astonishing $194,000. The year 1946 was a remarkable time in American history. The nation was emerging from the shadows of World War II, embracing a new era of hope, rebuilding, and growth. The Lincoln wheat penny from this year wasn't just pocket change, it was a symbol of resilience and renewal. As Americans were returning home and rebuilding their lives, these pennies were minted to keep commerce flowing and remind citizens of the strength embodied by Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln wheat penny itself is one of the most iconic designs in the history of American coinage. Introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The obverse proudly displays Lincoln's dignified profile, symbolizing unity, freedom, and perseverance. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, a tribute to the country's agricultural heritage and prosperity. This design remained in circulation until 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Now, while millions of 1946 Lincoln wheat pennies were minted, the true value of a coin hinges on several factors: rarity, mint mark, condition, and unique features or errors. In 1946, pennies were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Each mint produced millions of coins, but those minted in Denver and San Francisco tend to be rarer and more desirable to collectors, especially when found in pristine condition. Condition is absolutely critical. The vast majority of 1946 pennies you'll find are well worn from circulation, but if you come across one that is in uncirculated or mint state condition, its value can skyrocket. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC assign grades based on factors like luster, strike quality, and wear. Coins graded MS65 or higher command exceptional premiums and are highly sought after. What makes the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny even more thrilling to collectors are rare varieties and minting errors. Some coins show slight variations in the positioning of the mint mark or differences in the thickness of the letters and numbers. But it's the striking errors that truly capture collector attention. A double die error, where elements of the design appear doubled due to misalignment during the die-making process, can make a coin extraordinarily rare. Other prized errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, and even weak strikes where parts of the design didn't fully imprint. The metal composition of the 1946 penny is also notable. Made primarily of 95% copper with a blend of tin and zinc, these coins have a warm reddish hue that coin enthusiasts love. While the metal value itself isn't particularly high, the true worth lies in rarity and collector demand. That if you've got a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny in your collection, how do you figure out if it's one of the rare, valuable kinds? Start by locating the mint mark beneath the date on the front of the coin. Then carefully examine the coin's surface under good lighting or magnification to detect any doubling effects on the date, letters, or wheat stalks. Look for signs of wear. The sharper and more detailed the features, the better. collectors worldwide have been captivated by exceptional 1946 pennies, especially those with rare mint marks or error varieties, leading to some remarkable sales at auctions and private transactions. Now, for the big reveal, a rare and pristine 1946 Lincoln wheat penny, particularly one with a notable mint mark and in mint condition, or one exhibiting a significant minting error, can be worth a jaw-dropping $194,000, yes, $194,000 for a penny that once passed through countless hands, a piece of history that carries both legacy and immense value. It's truly amazing how something so small can embody such significance. From its historical backdrop to its intricate design and rarity, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny is a testament to the enduring allure of coin collecting. Today, we're diving into a remarkable piece of American history, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny. This isn't just any penny, it's a symbol of a tumultuous time, a snapshot of a nation in the throes of World War II, and a coin that holds incredible value for collectors around the world. Stick with me as we explore the fascinating story, design, and unique traits of this coin, and by the end, you'll understand why a pristine 1942 Lincoln wheat penny can be worth an astounding $198,000. The year 1942 was a pivotal moment in American history. The United States had just entered World War II, and the country was mobilizing its industries, military, and citizenry to face the challenges ahead. Money was tight, resources were precious, and every penny counted, literally. The Lincoln wheat penny minted in 1942 served not only as everyday currency but also as a symbol of hope and resilience during a time of uncertainty and sacrifice. This penny is part of the long-running Lincoln wheat series, which debuted in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Featuring the beloved profile of Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, the coin's design is steeped in symbolism. Lincoln's face reminds us of freedom, unity, and determination, while the wheat stalks evoke the strength and prosperity of America's agricultural heritage. This design remained in use until 1958, making it one of the most recognized and cherished coins in American numismatics. Millions of 1942 Lincoln wheat pennies were minted across three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint did not place a mint mark, while Denver pennies bear a D, and San Francisco pennies carry an S. The presence and type of mint mark are crucial in determining a coin's rarity and value. Though these coins were produced in large quantities, the Denver and San Francisco mint pennies from 1942 tend to be scarcer and thus more prized by collectors, especially when found in exceptional condition. Condition is king when it comes to coin collecting. Most 1942 pennies you'll find today show signs of wear, discoloration, or damage from decades of circulation. However, an uncirculated coin, one that looks nearly as fresh as the day it was minted, can command staggering prices. Coins graded mint state 65 or higher by respected grading services like PCGS or NGC are among the rarest and most valuable. What truly excites collectors about the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny are the fascinating minting varieties and errors that exist. One of the most famous types is the 1942/1 overdate variety, where the coin shows traces of a previous date, 1941, underneath the 1942 date, a result of a reused or repurposed die. Such coins are incredibly rare and highly sought after. Additionally, some pennies exhibit double die errors, where design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. These doubled images might appear on the date, the word Liberty, or the wheat stalks on the back, and they significantly increase a coin's value. Other errors that boost a coin's worth include off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly aligned, die cracks, and planchet flaws. Each error makes the coin one of a kind and adds to the allure for collectors and investors alike. The metal content of the 1942 penny is primarily copper, 95% copper, with a small mixture of tin and zinc. This composition gives the coin a distinctive reddish-brown hue that many collectors find appealing. While the metal itself doesn't add significant monetary value, the coin's historical significance and rarity do. If you have a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny, how can you tell if it might be one of the rare, valuable varieties? First, identify the mint mark beneath the date on the front of the coin. Then, examine the coin carefully under magnification for any signs of doubling or overdate effects. Look for any off-center strikes or unusual markings that might hint at an error. Also, assess the coin's condition by checking for sharp details, strong luster, and minimal wear. Over the years, 1942 pennies with rare mint marks and errors have fetched incredible prices at auctions and private sales, sometimes surprising even seasoned collectors with their sky-high values. And now, here's the reveal that every collector waits for: a rare and exceptionally preserved 1942 Lincoln wheat penny, especially one with a sought-after mint mark or minting error, can be worth a staggering $198,000. It's amazing to think that a coin so small, once used to buy a simple candy or newspaper, could be worth nearly $200,000 today. This shows the magic and excitement of coin collecting, the thrill of discovering that hidden gem, the joy of preserving history, and the incredible value that lies in these tiny pieces of metal. Today, we're diving deep into a truly iconic piece of American numismatics, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. This humble 1-cent coin is much more than just spare change. It's a piece of history, a symbol of resilience through one of the most challenging times America ever faced, and a coin that has captured the imagination and wallets of collectors worldwide. By the end of this video, you'll understand why a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, especially in prime condition, can be valued at an astonishing $130,000. The year 1945 holds a special place in the heart of American history. It marked the final year of World War II, a year of hope, sacrifice, and the dawning of a new era. Soldiers were returning home, the economy was shifting from wartime production back to peace, and the nation was eager to rebuild and move forward. The coins minted in 1945, including the Lincoln wheat penny, are like tiny time capsules from that transformative year, carrying stories of perseverance, patriotism, and renewal. The Lincoln wheat penny itself is a beloved symbol in American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, this design broke the tradition by being the first circulating coin to feature a real person. The obverse of the coin shows a dignified profile of Lincoln, embodying honesty, leadership, and unity. On the reverse, 2 wheat ears frame the words, 1 cent and United States of America, highlighting America's rich agricultural roots and prosperity. This design stayed in use until 1958, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history. In 1945, pennies were minted at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, which struck coins without a mint mark; Denver, with a D mint mark; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. While millions of these pennies were produced, the variations between mints and their survival rates play a significant role in determining their rarity and value today. Condition remains one of the most crucial factors affecting the worth of any coin, and the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is no exception. Most coins from this era show considerable wear and tear, as they circulated heavily during and after the war. However, when you find a specimen that's been well preserved, one that boasts sharp details, full luster, and minimal blemishes, the value can soar. Collectors and grading services prize coins in mint state condition, MS-60 and above, and particularly those graded MS-65 or better, which are exceptionally rare and sought after. What makes the 1945 penny even more intriguing are the minting anomalies and errors that exist. Some coins from this year showcase the famous double die effect, where elements like the date, the word Liberty, or the wheat stalks appear doubled due to misalignment in the die during production. These double die pennies are true rarities and attract a premium from collectors. Additionally, some 1945 pennies feature overdates, die cracks, or off-center strikes, all of which can drastically increase the coin's desirability and value. The metal composition of the 1945 penny adds another layer to its story. Made primarily of 95% copper with a mixture of tin and zinc, this penny holds a warm, reddish-brown tone that ages beautifully over time. Unlike the steel pennies minted during the height of the war, 1943, the 1945 copper pennies returned to their traditional composition, marking a symbolic shift back to normalcy and prosperity. For anyone curious about whether their 1945 Lincoln wheat penny might be valuable, start by checking the mint mark right beneath the date. Then, examine the coin closely with a loupe or magnifying glass to spot any doubling die marks, or unusual features. The sharper and cleaner the details, the more valuable the coin may be. Over the years, many exceptional 1945 pennies have surfaced in collections, auctions, and estate sales, fetching prices that surprise even experienced numismatists. These coins aren't just currency, they are precious artifacts that tell the story of America's resilience. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, a rare and impeccably preserved 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, especially those with significant minting errors or in pristine condition, can be worth a breathtaking $130,000. It's truly remarkable how a simple penny, once used to buy a loaf of bread or a newspaper, can hold such incredible value. This is the magic of coin collecting, a mix of history, artistry, and the thrill of the hunt. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the history and value of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss out on more fascinating coin stories and hidden treasures. Do you have a 1945 penny or any rare coin in your collection? Share your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear about your discoveries. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, your next penny could be worth $130,000. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, a small, humble coin that holds an extraordinary place in American numismatics. At first glance, a 1957 penny might seem like just everyday change, but if you know what to look for, you might be holding a treasure that could change your life. By the end of this video, you'll understand why a rare 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, especially one with a specific mint mark and in exceptional condition, could be worth an incredible $190,000. Let's start with a little history. The year 1957 was part of a dynamic era in the United States, a post-war boom filled with economic growth, social change, and technological progress. The penny in your pocket, bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln, stood as a symbol of unity and endurance through these times. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series itself has an impressive legacy, first issued in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The obverse proudly displays Lincoln's profile, a design that has become synonymous with American currency. The reverse side features the iconic wheat ears on either side of the coin, symbolizing prosperity and the nation's agricultural roots. What makes the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special? Well, these pennies were minted at 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark, a small letter indicating the coin's origin, is found just below the date on the obverse side. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins have a D, and San Francisco coins feature an S. Each mint produced millions of pennies that year, but the rarity and collector demand for certain mint marks, particularly the D and S, can dramatically affect a coin's value. The condition of the coin is paramount. Most pennies from 1957 have circulated heavily and show wear, but pristine examples that have never been handled or worn, called uncirculated or mint state coins, are incredibly rare. Grading services like PCGS and NGC assign numerical grades to coins based on their condition, with mint state 65 or higher considered exceptionally valuable, but the real magic happens when you find a 1957 penny with unique characteristics or minting errors. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double die error, where the die used to strike the coin accidentally imprints a doubled image, creating a shadow effect on the date or lettering. For collectors, this kind of error turns an ordinary penny into a rare gem. Off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned due to a misfeed during minting, are also highly prized. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin. Additionally, die cracks or planchet flaws, imperfections in the metal blank before striking, can make a coin stand out in any collection. The metal composition of the 1957 penny is 95% copper with 5% zinc and tin, giving the coin a warm, reddish tone that coin enthusiasts love. While the metal value itself is modest, the true worth comes from rarity, condition, and unique minting quirks. If you come across a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny, here's what you should do. First, check for the mint mark under the date. Then, examine the coin carefully for any signs of doubling, off-center striking, or unusual marks. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty for doubled images. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to catch subtle errors. Assess the coin's condition. A sharp, shiny coin with crisp details is far more valuable than one that's worn and dull. Over the years, collectors and investors have hunted down these rare 1957 pennies with amazing results. Some have sold for surprisingly high prices at auction and in private sales, reflecting the excitement and demand among numismatists worldwide. And now for the moment you've been waiting for, a rare 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, particularly one with a significant minting error or in pristine mint state condition, can be worth an astounding $190,000. Yes, $190,000 for a coin that many of us think of as just ordinary pocket change. It's incredible how a small, copper penny from 1957 can hold so much history, rarity, and value, a true testament to the thrill of coin collecting and the stories coins carry with them.